we're going to begin with protests that erupted in Minnesota last night over a man's death after a traffic stop just 10 miles from the site of the Derek Chauvin trial. Police used tear gas and flashbangs in some places to disperse the crowd. The family of Daunte Wright say police shot and killed him yesterday afternoon, and police are saying that they learned of an outstanding warrant against Wright after they pulled him over. Jamie Yuccas is at the Brooklyn Center, Minnesota Police Department, where the crowds gathered last night. Jamie, good morning to you. What's it like there this morning?
Well, Tony, I want to show you what my crew found as they were setting up. This is a non-lethal marker round, and you can see this big piece of non-lethal ammunition is shot at crowds to quickly get them to disperse. And while there aren't any people still here, police are still on high alert after officers clashed with protesters here outside the station. The National Guard is still here this morning as well to help control any threats. The mayor also issued a curfew order early this morning. This adds to the already high tensions in the Minneapolis area as Derek Chauvin's murder trial continues today. Marching through the city, protesters met a line of officers at the Brooklyn Center Police Department who used flashbangs and tear gas to try to break up the group.
We saw rocks and other objects thrown at the police department. There were reports of shots fired in the area of the police department.
Earlier in the day, dozens gathered in the same spot where family says Daunte Wright was killed by police.
What do we want? Justice! What do we want now?
His mother, Katie Wright, says Daunte called her right before the incident.
That he was getting pulled over by the police, and I said, well, why did you get pulled over? He said they pulled him over because he had air fresheners hanging from the rearview mirror. He didn't deserve to be shot and killed like this.
The 20-year-old allegedly drove away when police say officers tried to arrest him on an outstanding warrant. One officer fired a shot at the car and hit Wright, who allegedly continued driving several blocks before hitting another car. Wright died at the scene and no one else was seriously injured. Police are investigating and say dash and body cameras appear to have been activated at the time. The shooting took place just 15 miles from where George Floyd was killed by Minneapolis police last May. As the murder trial of Derek Chauvin continues today, residents say this adds to the hurt.
Pain and grief. I mean, trauma. We're already in a trial with George Floyd. We're at a breaking point as a people.
Today in the trial, we expect the prosecution to wrap up. At least one of George Floyd's family members is likely to testify. The case then moves to the defense, where everyone will be watching to see if Derek Chauvin testifies on his own behalf. Gayle?
That is the question, especially after the last 2 weeks of testimony. Thank you very much, Jamie.